I just wanted to stop by and.
Nice. So what do you?
I've been interested.
What do you believe now? Do you believe in God?
I don't believe in anything.
All right.
I'm undecided.
You're open.
I'm not against anything.
Nice.
I'm not for anything.
That's great.
I'm collecting information.
Great. So we as Muslims believe in one God. What do you think about that?
I don't. See, I wouldn't have any basis to have any thoughts. To me, it's like I wouldn't. So what I believe is sort of like I wouldn't have knowledge to know what is true. I wouldn't have like. I don't have the information of like who created this world.
Right,
like,
but okay, so first thing is there a creator? Like, do you think this world came by itself?
Because like, okay, let's think of this through, if we think of it through a scientific lens. Right?
Let's
Go
look
all the
at,
way back to the
I'm
Big
with
Bang,
it.
No one can explain that.
Exactly.
No one can explain that. So that lens doesn't work. So
Agreed.
Well, it's not. It's more like it doesn't give the whole story, right? So
I agree 100%. So basically science is just observing what's going on,
Yes,
putting out theories,
we can
hypotheses. I got you on that one, right? None of us can observe where we came from, right? So let's leave that aside. Now, let's just use basic human logic, right? We're not talking about philosophy, just your basic human logic, right? I have a phone here, right? Would you believe me that this came by itself? Nobody created it.
I mean, well, actually, I will say one thing. I think that the patterns of like the universe can make some really complex things. Like you see some, I guess, rocks or some stuff.
Sure, complicated rocks, no problem.
Intricate, you know.
But let's leave rocks and the universe out of it. Let's just take this. Okay, so now this is a phone. It recognizes my face. It unlocks, right?
Yes.
It makes phone calls. I got apps. I can play videos on it. It takes pictures, right? It even has a stand. Like this is pretty kind of cool. You know, you get a little pops out. You can make it a stand, right? Yeah. So all of this, the case, the phone, the camera, would you believe me if I told you nobody made this? Grains of sand evolved into an iPhone 1, and then a 2, and then a 4, and then a 5, and then an X, and then 13, 14, whatever it is today. Would you really?
I would not believe you, but the reason I would not believe you is because it's so tailored to our needs, you know?
There you go. Okay, that is a great point. Now, how tailored are you to this universe? You take in oxygen, you put out carbon dioxide. You look at plants, they take in carbon dioxide, put out oxygen. If the earth was a little bit off, away from the sun, we'd freeze. A little bit closer, we'd burn up, right? Look at how beautiful your body works, your kidney, your heart, your liver, things that are in such perfection that if one of them falls off, your kidney fails, your heart fails, you die, right? Look at your brain. If I take this phone and just throw it right now in the cement, is it gonna heal itself? But if you fall, your body heals itself. You started scabbing up, you see the white blood cells go out, right? You get a virus, your body fights it off, right? So how beautifully tailored you are to this world and how perfectly designed you are is better than this phone.
That's true.
So just like, much more complex. So just like it would make no sense that this phone came by itself, it would make no sense that we didn't have a creator.
I think the one thing that, I mean, I guess you do say that Allah is like all knowing, all powerful. So he's
we're not even there yet, right?
But my point is like if you had to, someone had to create me, they would have to be more complex than me.
Agreed. More powerful than you, more intelligent than you, more complicated, all of that. God above Allah is much greater than any of us. He's more knowledgeable. He knows everything. He's all capable. But before we
I'm a little
go ahead.
Say God above Allah.
No, God above us.
Oh.
Allah, right? I just want to be clear, you know, because sometimes when we say God, people think of a guy or a monkey or something. We don't believe in those things. We believe Allah is above His creation.
You don't believe He is like a human form, or?
We do not believe He is human at all, or a human form, right? We believe that there is nothing like Him. Laysa kamithlihi shay. The Quran tells us there's nothing even comparable. God above Allah, the God that's above, is so amazing and so great that we don't even give an image. We don't make paintings, right? We don't put little statues on walls. We don't go and worship idols. We believe that Creator is so great in this world we can't even look at Him. But after you die and you go to heaven, or may Allah take us all to heaven, right? Then you can see your Creator there, Allah, right? So, but let's take it in steps. The first thing, I think me and you do agree now, that as the phone is perfectly tailored to our needs and cannot have come by accident by itself, the human is more complex and more tailored to perfection and cannot have come by itself. We agree on that?
Well, the thing is, I don't agree on the fact that we could not have come from what was directly before us.
Okay.
But
But
that
who-
chains all the way back.
Exactly.
That's
So,
the one thing.
but can something come from nothing?
Because because you say, could we have come from that? Well, I think it makes sense if we had come from a monkey, right? That would make sense.
How would
to
that
me.
make sense?
Because
Let's.
we are
so
very
let's-
complex, but the monkey is
Right.
also very complex.
So is a
the monkey
dog.
would turn into us.
Right.
It'd be not too much of a step.
But think about that, right? Where did the monkey come from?
I know. See, that's what I was getting
Right.
at. It has
So-
to come back to somewhere.
So now, when it has to come back to something or someone or some creator, right? There is in the end a creator, right? It didn't just come out of nowhere, right? Nothing cannot bring something, right? So we believe that the creator has always been there, right? And he will always be there. And he is the one that created all of us in the universe and everything there is, right? And he sent us guidance. He didn't just leave us without instructions, right? So he sent us prophets like Abraham and Moses and Jesus and Muhammad, peace be upon them, which makes sense, right? Because if you create something, you're going to give some kind of guidance how to use it, right? How it should be, like for example, if you design a new type of a car, well, you're gonna have a user manual. Any car you buy is gonna have a manual, right? Well, you should do, like for example, if you didn't know, and you instead of putting gas in the car, you were putting soda, right? You're gonna mess up your engine. So the car manual is gonna tell you, hey, you gotta put octane, 87, 91, whatever, right? It's gonna clarify those issues. You gotta get your oil changed every these many miles. So our creator created us, and he told us when you should pray, when you should fast, shouldn't kill, shouldn't steal, shouldn't rob, how to live in harmony. What are the rules and regulations of society? That's what our creator sent us as guidance. And you have it in your hand, the Quran, right?
Yeah.
So now, it does make sense that something had to have started creation, right? And it does make sense that that creator would send guidance in the form of books and prophets and stuff, right? Just like you said you would if you created something, right? And as you said, the creator would be more intelligent than us,
Of course.
right? So, if you believe there is a creator, because as you said, it had to have started somewhere, and you believe that creator sent prophets as guidance, and that's the basics of the Muslim belief.
Give him, guys, give him.
Yeah? That is the basics of the Muslim belief. We believe that there is one creator. We call him Allah, but we call him by many other names. Ar-Rahman, the most merciful. Ar-Rahim, the especially merciful. Al-Mutakabbir, Al-Jabbar, Al-Wudud, the most loving, the most powerful. Al-Qawi, Al-Qadir, the one who's strongest, the one who's capable of doing everything. We know him through many, many names, right? So now, when you know there is a creator, and you know that people have called him by different names in different languages, but that same creator is the one that sent Abraham, that sent Moses, that sent Jesus, that sent Muhammad, and so on, right? Allahu Akbar! Right? So then we believe that that is a part of the greater message of Islam. The same message Jesus brought. Like today you see people celebrating Christmas, right? But did Jesus celebrate Christmas?
I have no idea.
No. Here's the Bible. You will not find Christmas anywhere in the Bible. 25th of December, none of that stuff, right? If you go and look up, you can Google it when you get home, look up the history of Christmas. It wasn't even there in the early church tradition. It was not there, and the followers of Jesus didn't celebrate Christmas. But this was something that was brought in from pagan festivals, Saturnalia and so on, right? So Islam is that true religion. That religion that Abraham, Moses, Jesus, Muhammad, all of them followed. That's the original religion. What do you think about that?
And the idea is that the other religions came from being lost in translation.
Exactly. Meaning the same creator gave the message to Jesus, but Jesus never said, worship me, right? But after Jesus' time on earth, when he's taken back by Allah, then people started to worship Jesus. They changed the religion. They started to bring Christmas and Easter and Santa Claus and all this nonsense of having statues. Look at the commandments, right? The first commandment, hear, O Israel, your Lord is one. And that's what we say. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ, right? And then it tells us that you shall not worship idols, right? That's the second commandment. But what happens when you go to church today? You see idols. Catholics have, idols of saints. You go to even a Christian church, you'll see Jesus and, some white guy, on a cross and so on. And they're like, that's God, making idols and worshiping it, when that's not what Jesus taught, right? Do you think Jesus ever went around telling his disciples, go make a statue of me?
I have no idea.
Never, right? So, basic idea. One creator, right? Who's not a man, he's not a woman, not a human. He's the one that created everything. Like you said, had to have begun somewhere, right? And that creator sent us prophets, Abraham, Moses, Jesus, Muhammad, to bring us a message, to let us know how we should live. Make sense?
Yes.
All right, that's it, man.
Well,
That's
I gotta dig
that's
through
the
this.
basic of the Muslim belief. You're there. Read it. You've got our card. When you're ready, come back. We'll do your shahada, inshallah. Barakallah feekum. Have a good one.